What's going on, gentlemen? All right, we might be a little bit slim today. A lot of people like to say that the weekends are better for them, but usually they're not. Is what I've found out. Usually, it just means people don't want to show up on the weekends, so it's okay. I'm gonna treat this just like I'm talking to everybody in the group. Okay. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for putting up with me. I've been pretty damn sick. Like that COVID shit really took over. So I had COVID and I'm like still like residual damage from it. But I'm here. I'm here and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get back into it. Let's let a few more people get in here. It's 3:02, so I'm not going to waste anyone's time. If you're here right now, we're going to get started. Okay. Happy Sunday. All right, I made a little PowerPoint for you guys because I love you guys. Let me see here. I'm gonna share this screen. Just let me know if you can't see something. And today we are going to get into something that is, I think it's probably really misunderstood as far as like music goes. And I think it's the biggest thing that people have issues with is the business side of music. We're going to talk about building momentum and a cash flowing business. Now, this goes with any business. I don't think that this is just music, right? But I really do think that everybody here needs to have an understanding of how the music business really works, and understand that it's not just, oh, I make music and hopefully I could sell some music. Right. If you're just joining us, please mute your microphones, guys. I'm going to go through these slides and I'm going to kind of present this to you guys. And then I'll answer questions at the end. OK, so just hold on to your questions, write them down. Like best thing you guys can be doing is taking notes. Yeah, let's get into it. So as far as music business goes, because I think this is the hard part about the music business for a lot of people is trying to understand, how do I make money with music? And that's the question everybody has, right? Like, oh, well, I make music and I love making music. Yeah, it's like, okay, everybody loves making music. Everybody loves going swimming. Everyone loves going to the beach. Everyone loves going on vacation. Everyone loves doing whatever they love doing, right? It doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to have a business out of it. So we have to kind of define that and clarify some things. So first things first, targets. Okay. The first thing you really want to do is you want to be focusing on not the how. And this is what I find a lot of people mistake and kind of mess up with is they focus so hard on the how. How do I make money with my music? How do I do it? Do I sell beats online? Do I go and play live shows? Do I sell merch? How do I make money with music? They freak out and they just beat that idea up and that question up. And all that does really is creates anxiety and a ton of doubt. Because here's the truth. You should be focusing on the what, the why, and the who. Okay. These are like the big things you should be focusing on, the big three. The how will come when you focus on the what, the why, and the who. Okay. So you want to write out your targets for the year, the quarters. I like to break it down into 4 quarters, just like any business. And if you don't understand business quarters, it's very basic. There's three months to every quarter: January, February, March, April, May, June, right? Breaks down to 12 months in a year. Very, very simple. Business is simple, right? Like business, we keep it real dumb simple in business. I'm trying to get this video stuff out of my way so I can actually see what I'm doing here. It's like I can't see my mouse. And all right, let me see here. Move this guy to the bottom here. All right, so you want to write out your targets for the year, for the quarters, months, weeks, and then you want to break them down to your daily critical tasks that you're going to need for habits to hit those targets. I talk about this a lot, right? I tell you I have 5 critical tasks that I do every single day. And if I get those critical tasks done, then I can do whatever I want to do with the rest of my day. I could take naps, play with my dogs, whatever I want to do, right? But I need to hit those 5 critical tasks every day that go back to my weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly targets. Here's a really important part of this. Never lower the target. Okay. So if you start because we're going to get into 2023. And that's really why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys, because I want you to prepare for that now. It's December. You have what, 26 days, 27 days left in 2022. And a lot of people are just coasting right now. They have so many excuses. Oh, the economy. Oh, this is going on. Oh, I have the holidays coming up. Oh, every year is the same for these people. They don't get anywhere. They have the same exact excuses. And I hate to break it to you guys, but everyone has those same exact excuses. So they're literally worthless. They have no value to them whatsoever. So if you're telling yourself that stuff and you have those tired tapes going on in your head, you need to quit that shit. That's all bullshit. Okay, so never lower the target. If you set a target for 2023, you want to get 5 sync placements in 2023, right? And you want them to be from $1,000 to $50,000 in payouts. Great. Get really specific with your targets. Very, very specific. I always get super, super specific with what with what my targets are. How much money am I making from those things? What are they? What do they look like? How do they feel? Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to really hone in on what that target is. And then you want to never lower that target. Like, if you're saying, I want to do 5 syncs next year that pay out from $500 to $50,000 each sync, which that's a pretty big range. I would get a lot more specific than that. You want to increase the action, but don't lower the target. So if you're like, oh, 5 syncs, maybe that's just, that's unreasonable. I don't think I can do that. I've never synced anything in my life. Like, this is what happens with people. This is why I'm telling you, like, let's go back one slide, right? Let's go back. And let's talk about the how and creating anxiety and doubt. And that's what's going to happen to you, is because you're going to go back to focusing on the how. How am I going to do that? How am I going to get 5 syncs if I've never done 1 sync? What do I got to do? How do I do it? Right? You're going to just lose your mind thinking about that. So you want to set your targets. You want to get really, really specific on those targets, and you want to really solidify those targets, and you want to increase the action, never lower the target. Solidify the why. That'll help you hit those targets. Why are you doing this? Put pictures up of your family, put pictures up of the thing you want to buy, the studio you want to be in, the gear you're trying to get, the show you're trying to sell out at that Coliseum. Like, you need to visualize and have a big why. And then you need to keep seeking the who. And we're going to get into the why and the who here with these next slides. But the who is, like, you know, a great band, first of all, but also just a very, very important aspect to hitting your targets. You know, it's who you know, is what they say in the business, right? So what are your targets? Defining your targets, that's really, it's like a process, right? I have a process for everything. And I just want to give you kind of like an outline, because we could go really deep into every single one of these topics, because they're all very business oriented topics. But I want to give you guys kind of like general things that you can do and rules to, you know, not break, and rules to live by. So the first thing is, do not have realistic goals and targets. Okay. That's so important. Everyone, you know, I think maybe for the first like 5-10 years in music, and me trying to like make it and make a living with music, I would like read these books, and I'd put these audio books on about like reaching goals and writing your goals out. And there was this like one goal setting thing that I forget. It was like an acronym. It was like specific, realistic, you know, and all this bullshit. And it's all bullshit, by the way. That's all garbage. You know, that's such garbage information. Like, set realistic goals so you don't disappoint yourself. Motherfucker, you're disappointing yourself right now. What's a realistic goal going to do for you? I don't know. If you're anything like me, I'm constantly wanting to do better than I'm doing right now. And I'm constantly disappointed with how I'm doing, which means I'm ambitious, and you are probably ambitious as well if you're getting into music, especially if you're trying to make a living with music. So do not set realistic goals and targets. Okay. Be unreasonable. Number 2, be unreasonable. Don't be reasonable. Be fucking unreasonable, you guys. Like, you cannot set goals that are like, well, I'm making $100 a month this month. I should try and shoot for $125 next month. That's not going to get you up. It's not going to get you to do anything. You're not going to be like super hyped. You're not going to be motivated to go get $125 next month for my music. You know, it's like this mushy half-ass bullshit that everybody's preached to every day, online, everywhere. Believe in yourself. Just be happy with where you're at. It's not going to get you guys anywhere. You got to be unreasonable. Okay. Number 3, every target should be a multiplier of what you have right now. So an example, you're making $500 a month right now with your music, syncing it, you know, playlisting it, royalties, publishing, master copyright, distribution payments, merchandise you're selling, shows you're playing. Your new target should be 10 times that. You should be going, hey, 500 times 10, my new target should be $5,000 a month. Okay. Think about things like goals that could actually do something for you. And number 4, and this is really important, you will never hit your targets if they're set right. Okay. I want you to really understand why we set goals. If you talk to any major Elon Musk, regardless of what you think about him or what he's doing with Twitter, I don't really give a shit. If you think about any entrepreneur, anybody doing anything that you want to do, their goals are always out of their reach. I want to get to Mars. I want to colonize Mars. Has Elon Musk done that? Is he going to do that? Probably not, guys. But you have to set those goals. You have to set those targets. Are you going to go 10 times platinum? Are you going to get a diamond record? Are you going to win 15 Grammys in your lifetime? Maybe not, but shouldn't you set that goal? Like you don't want to set goals that you can reach. That is so stupid. You want to be constantly motivated and building momentum towards what you really want in your life. If you want a half-ass life where just you die and you like wrote some shitty songs that sit on your hard drive, like that's what you do. You set really reasonable, you know, realistic goals. I got to get a sync next year. I got to get on ABC networks. It's like, okay, cool, man. You know, so you'll hit your goals. You'll definitely hit further than you ever expected if you set your goals out of your reach, always, constantly. And they have to be like out of your reach enough to be like, I think I can actually like do that. Like I can make $5,000 a month with my music. You know what I mean? Like you're making 500 now and you're like, I could make $5,000. I think I could do that. If you can make $1 with your music, you guys, you can make $1 million with your music. 100%. It's the same thing. It's just a multiplier. Okay. So it's just doing more action. It's finding the who, right? Who can help you with this stuff, all that. So we're going to get into all that. Now, define your why and keep daily reminders that create obsession. I'll tell you, like the biggest thing in music is you have the super obsessed people in music that are just absolutely always crushing it, no matter what. Even if they're independent artists, they're crushing it because they're obsessed. They're making content all the time. They're making music videos. You see them everywhere. And you're like, dude, I saw this guy last year. He was doing this and now he's doing this. And now he's got like Rick Ross featured on his stuff. Oh my God, he's up for a Grammy. This is crazy. I've been following him for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, right? These are the obsessed people. And then you got everybody else, the 95% of everybody else. And the reason is because they don't have a why. They don't have a deep enough why. They don't have an obsession. They don't have this like, oh, well, it'd be nice if I, you know, they constantly are like the kind of people that go, man, it'd be really nice to make a living in music. It'd be really dope to like get a platinum record. How'd you do that? Like, we're not talking about that here. Okay. Oh man, you know, your mixes sound really good, man. That's sick. I wish I could mix like that. This is online, guys. This is the internet, by the way. And this is the majority of people, right? So you have to define your why, keep daily reminders that create obsession. Okay. So your why, number 1, if your why isn't big enough or desperate enough, you'll never do what's necessary to get to the targets. You'll always do just enough. You'll make just enough money. You'll sell just enough records. You'll put out just enough music every year. You'll do just enough to make people think that you're in music. See, I put a song out. Look at me. I did this. I have a gig. You'll do just enough because your why's not big enough. You don't know why you're even doing it. Well, it'd be nice. Be nice to make some money with music. I mean, last month I made like $1,500. You know, it was really nice. Great month. Okay, cool. Nobody cares. All right. So you really got to get desperate with this stuff. You got to get to the point where you do want it. You do crave it. You're able to go online and be like, I want to do this. I care about this. Now, why? Attach your why to purposes beyond yourself. That really helps me. I try to be accountable to others. Okay. It's constantly why you guys see all the content, why I even have this group that you guys are in right now. Why am I on a call on Sunday afternoon at 3:00? Why did I put this presentation together for you guys? Why do I do any of this stuff? Oh, well, Brad, because, you know, it's like $40 a month and you're making money. No, I'm not making money from you guys. You guys smoke way too much weed, drink too much if you think I make money from you guys. You're absolutely high out of your mind. Now, really think about this. The reason I do this, the reason I do these calls, the reason I have a mentoring group, the reason I do and post content every single day is because I want to be accountable, first of all, to you guys, but I do want to be accountable to my goals and my dreams and what I'm trying to achieve with my music business. That's why I do it. Okay. So I want you guys to talk about Radium. I want you guys to get results. I want you guys to get something out of this. I have to get results for you guys so that you'll go and you'll spread the word so that I can build a business and get to the dreams that I want. And the more people that I can touch and the more people that I can help, the more people that they can help, the more people, it's like a ripple effect. It's a huge wave. It's a storm. Okay. I've been doing this all the time, nonstop for the last 6 years. And I'm not stopping, regardless of what I'm getting paid or not getting paid. Okay. My why is not to make $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? I have to have a why and a purpose beyond myself and beyond making money or beyond. If you're in music to make money, you're crazy. Get out of music, go to law school, go get a job, go get into the medical career, move to California, join the union, do something else. Okay. There's a billion ways to make money. Music is probably at the very bottom of the totem pole. Okay. So a really, really good hack for this is to have a purpose beyond yourself. First of all, that's really, really important. I don't want to die and people be like, oh yeah, Brad. Yeah. I don't know. I think he like did some stuff on the Lego movie. You know, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to like leave, you know, people like, yo, that guy died and like, he helped me do this, this, and this, and get to my dreams and what I wanted. And I want like, you know, 500,000 people around my grave going, yeah, man, he helped me too. And he helped me and he helped me and he built a business for me and he helped my family. He fed my family. Like, let's, you know, I want to leave something that can go forever. And my music, I want my music to go forever. Right. So try and be accountable to others, your family, your friends, your colleagues. Your why drives everything else, guys. This is like, it's so hard to talk about this because it's so beyond what I can explain in words and like on these slides. It's like everything, right? Why are you doing this? And you guys have to spend the time on asking the why. And I wrote down here, then ask again, why? Get to the root of why you're doing it. Okay. A really great practice for me is to say, okay, I got a target. Say my target, you know, I'll read one of my targets. $160,000 a month per month in music on my goals, right? That's my target. That's a target for me, which breaks down to $1,920,000 per year. Okay. So $160,000 a month. Why do I want $160,000 a month for my music business? Like, why do I want Radium to be generating $160K a month? I have to answer that question. I have to write it down. I want to make $160,000 a month because it'll allow me to pay 3 employees this much money, right? I'll break it down. It'll allow me to make this much more content every month. It'll allow me to do this, this, and this with my business and reach this many more people. Okay, why? Why do you want to do that? Okay, we'll go another layer deeper, right? Because I want to help people gain goals that they have. I want to build a community around the music and what I'm doing. And I love being around people and I love connecting with people and I love masterminding and it makes me happy and I want to make other people happy. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to make other people happy? Why do you have to go down the onion, you guys, and you have to keep asking, because you'll get to the root of why you're actually doing it. Why are you making music? Why do you want to be a platinum selling artist? Well, because, you know, I want to be known for my music. Why do you want to be known for your music? Because I've always loved music, and I've always felt like I've never been appreciated enough for how good I am at music and songwriting. Okay, go deeper, right? Just keep asking why. And you really got to solidify that, because that's going to be the thing that's going to anchor in your music business. It's going to be the thing that pushes you to the next thing to get you to that target. Okay, now who? Who, not how. That's really, really important. Who, not how. Number one, who has your money? Who has your opportunities? Who can open doors for you? Who can connect you to that label, that publisher, that advance check, that sync placement? Who is it? Now, everybody in this room is smart enough to actually have asked this question before, because you're in this room right now, right? You're on this call right now. You said, who can connect me to opportunities? Who can get me to those sync placements? Who can help me with this stuff? And you saw, hey, Bradley's running this thing. He's got a mentoring thing going on, right? He's done it. He's made millions of dollars with sync licensing. You know, he's worked on these big films that have done over $1 billion in gross in the box office. You know, like, you are finding the who. That's really important. So you got to focus on that who, and you got to find those people, and you got to hone in on those people, and you really got to add value to those people, and you got to bring shit to the table, and you got to pay those people to access them, right? Not just their masterclass videos online or whatever. You want to access me. You want to be able to ask me questions. You want to be in the Instagram chat. You want to be connected to what I'm doing 70 hours a week in this room, what I'm studying, what I'm connected to, my music briefs, the opportunities I have, the doors I've opened with my company, the people I've gathered, right? You know how much money it took me? You know how much time it took me to get all that? To gather all of that? You don't need to do it on your own. That's crazy. I don't know how much time and money you guys got, but believe me, it's been a lot of time and fucking money. It's a lot of borrowed money too. A lot of loans and credit cards and debt, and so much that you guys can totally just skip if you just go, who? I got to find the who. Okay. Number two, who has already brought your audience together? Who already has your customer paying attention to them? Right? This is so powerful. I hope you guys are getting this. I really hope this is like piercing through and going, holy shit, I never thought like that. Oh my God. Who has brought my audience together? Who am I trying to get in front of? I want to be a composer. My target is this, and this. Who's already done that? How do I get into their mentoring group? How do I get closer to that? Who can you hire to get to those targets? That's like super key for me, right? Like, who can I hire to get to those targets that I'm trying to reach? If I'm trying to reach $160,000 a month in music and in my music business, who is going to help me get to that the fastest? Like, right away, I'm like a salesperson, a marketing person, an SEO person, someone that like has made content for huge YouTube channels or ran really, really great ad campaigns and collected a bunch of people, right? Like, what product services do I have? Who can I hire to get to those targets? If I'm trying to make classic records and get to platinum records, I need a producer. I need a better vocal coach. I need a vocal producer. I need the best top beat maker in the world. If I'm trying to be a rapper, I need the people. I got to get to the people. I got to hire the Grammy nominated, mixing engineer. I got to find the people. Those are my targets. I got to find the people. Who are they? Who can help me hit those yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily targets? Who are those people? And number four, who can help you shortcut your time and energy spent? I'll tell you a big thing like that is always going to be something that I think people regret when they get older, or they've tried this music thing for 3, 5, 10, 15 years. This is the biggest thing they'll regret, is that they did not actually invest money into people. They decided, I'm going to buy plugins. I'm going to get the gear. I'm going to build my own studio. They don't know shit about shit. They don't know how to sell. They don't know how to market. They don't know how to build a business. They don't even know how to mix and master. They don't know how to produce, but they're going to buy everything and do it themselves. A lot of failed companies and businesses that do that because they don't know what they're doing. You know, someone asked me once, I went to school for audio, right? And I remember the very first Sally Mae payment that I had to get from Sally Mae to go to this school. This was a private school. It was called Expression Digital Arts. It was in the Bay Area. It was just like one of the coolest places I've ever been in my life. And I went there twice to visit this college before I decided to go to school there. It was a accelerated program. It was so expensive, and they had multiple $1 million studios within that building. SSL consoles, Neve consoles, all the latest stuff of the time and what I was trying to do. And it was just like, you know, I was 25 years old and I'm like walking around this place like, oh my God, this place is amazing. I want to learn all this. This is so awesome. And I put $100,000 into that school to be able to go to that school, finish, graduate with a bachelor's degree, and also have a little bit of a stipend every month to live off of. I never took a job while I went to that school, ever. I got on Craigslist every single night after school and I found gigs because I was so scared that I would get pulled into working at a restaurant again or get pulled into something else. So I burned the fucking ships. I borrowed all the money I needed to go to school 100% and focus on music and making music and anything else around music. I mean, I was editing sound effects for $500. I was doing whatever you needed me to do. I ended up getting on Craigslist every single night looking for gigs. Oh, can I edit a video? Because it would be, you know, I'd be using the skills that I'm learning at least, right? Like I'm be creative. I'd be creating stuff. I'm not serving you French fries or burgers or whatever, you know? I busted my ass and I worked my ass off for that. And I remember it viscerally now. It was so emotional for me to be able to go through all that pain. I basically broke off an engagement. This girl left me. She left the ring on the pillow. She said, I don't want anything to do with this shit. You're crazy. Right. I mean, it was like the hardest time in my fucking life. And getting out and going, great. Now I got $100,000 in debt and I owe $1,150 a month on my student loans within like the next 60 days or something. How am I going to do this? I was so stressed out all the time, you guys. I was 25, 26, 27. I graduated, I think, at like 28. Imagine graduating college at 28 years old. And, you know, a lot of people do it now, but it's like, I was like the oldest guy in my class, you know what I'm saying? And I'm getting out with all this debt. And I remember someone asking me online, like, bro, you're an idiot. Why would you spend $100,000 on audio school? Why wouldn't you just take $100,000 and go build a super dope studio and just learn it? I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, because that's the problem. That's how people think. That's how they think. Oh, I'm just going to make it and then I'm going to figure it out. Like, no, I need the skills, you guys. Like, you have to pay the who. You got to figure out this stuff. After that school, I had so many skills that no one could take away from me. If I had put $100,000 into studio gear, plugins, and building a studio and running a business, I might be in more debt. I might be left with absolutely nothing, right? I might have been like 28 and been like, damn, that was the hardest lesson I ever learned in my life. I don't know what I'm going to do now, right? So I had hard skills when I got out of that school. I came down to LA and I got a job right away. And by the second year at that job, I had already broke $100,000 a year. So that's why you look for the who. It can help you shortcut time. It can energy. It can, like, you guys get sold on so much stuff, you know, marketing. And it's okay, marketing, whatever, you know, like people need to sell people on stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like you get sold on like a plugin or a microphone going to change the game for you and make you a famous producer or something. It's not how the world works. You need hard skills. You need to find the people that really have already done this. Who has your money, your opportunities, can open the doors, can connect you to the advanced checks, the publishers, who's already brought your audience together, who already has the paying customers they have all their attention. Who can you hire to get to the targets? Who can help you hit those goals? Stop spending your money on shit. So here's a great example of who, right? So for me, this is like the first top left corner is going to be the stage where Vacation movie where we scored it. That was on the Sony stage. It was like one of my first times like at an actual scoring stage, like within the scoring stage, working on the movie. And I thought that was just so cool. That movie still pays me royalty checks. Okay. Like still, that movie came out so many years ago. I don't work on that movie at all anymore. I still get paid for it. The next picture, the two U-47s recording the piano, that's over at Mutata Musica working with Mark. That opened up so many opportunities for me, guys, because that was the Who. He already was the big composer. He was already had all the people collected. I could go work with him. I could get paid for, for working with him. He could connect me to new opportunities. That's what I did. And then I even have this little picture of me down at the bottom, like doing on-set sound for free, 100% free, right? Like nobody paid me to do that. But that's the thing. A lot of y'all never will work on a free thing. It's like, why? That connected me to so many people. That was in San Francisco and I was working on a movie and I was a student at the time and they were like, yo, we need someone for this live sound, student thing, blah, blah, blah. And I connected with so many people. And then of course the good old Lego Oscar statue. It's crazy. You work like, I think it was like 2017 that happened. You got to remember, like I graduated, I came down to LA and 3 years later, I was working on an Oscar nominated project. That was wild. And that's a beautiful example of Who. I couldn't have done that on my own. You guys think like, oh, I'm going to go buy a plugin. I'm going to go start my own studio. Yeah. You're going to go get on an Oscar nominated film on your own, doing your own thing. Don't be dumb. The Who. Okay, you guys, it's always the Who. Who are you going to work for and with? Who are you going to work for free for to get some fucking credits? Like get some shit under your belt. Understand what you're doing at all. Get some connections. It's not always about, oh, I got to make some money. You got to pay me $300. So the Who got me all these credits, man. This is just like literally not even half of my credits. Abstract Art of Design. That first one, that came up for an Emmy just a couple years ago. So that was my first Emmy nominated project I worked on. Pitch Perfect 2. God, what a fucking movie, right? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. Las Vegas. I remember working in the studio with the director for Las Vegas, and we had these horn players in the session, and they were union players, and they were so good that the director and Mark were sitting on the couch in the back. I was running the session like I always did. I ran every session. I was the head engineer. I was the producer. I was doing everything, right? And they took the first take of the first cue that we had, and they both were like, it's too good. Like, that's too good. Like everyone just started cracking up in the room. I'm like, tell the horn players to not play so good. You imagine you're working with players. Like I was working with, and I still do, LA Philharmonic players, best players in the whole entire world, best horn players in the world, best string players in the world, best everything in the entire world. I'm like recording those people with vintage microphones. Now you think I could have like done that on my own? Like, oh, I got this. I'm just going to go buy a new plugin on Black Friday. I'm going to get lit. No, fuck no. I had to think about the Who with all of this. The Lego Movie, Oscar nominated, Academy Award nominated, Grammy nominated song. God, what was it not nominated for? And it won an Annie Award and it won a bunch of awards. It was up for every single thing you could possibly. Golden Globe. Yeah, it was nominated for a Golden Globe Award as well. Okay. Island of the Lemurs with Madagascar. That movie I recorded Motown legends, like people on Blue Note and Motown. I was in the studio with Thelma Houston. I don't know if you know who Thelma Houston is, but that's like the first time I recorded a legendary singer. And I put her on an M49, vintage M49, going through a Neve 1073 vintage mic preamp, hitting an SSL 6000 console. I can't afford that shit, you guys. You kidding me? It's who, right? Like I was using someone else's stuff, someone else's money, someone else's gear, and I got to do all that. Thelma Houston, man, she take one take and everyone was blown away. Like, that's fine. We just want you to do it more just so we can hear you sing because you're so incredible. It was incredible, you guys. I was producing the music, I was mixing it, I was recording it. The Lego movie, I had the Lonely Island guys come in. I was tracking them on a C800. Funny ass guys. I had them sending me emails back and forth. I was on conversations. I was on the phone with them. I was in the studio with Tegan from Tegan and Sarah, sitting on the couch, talking to her about how to sing this and that. You know, it was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm getting all this like confidence and working with these amazing artists. Pee-wee, he comes in while I'm in the middle of redoing the whole Studio A for Mark. I'm literally the guy that's ripping the thing apart, sold the SSL console. The whole studio's in shambles. So Pee-wee's got to be in the same, Paul, right? He's in the same room with us, the directors, the composers, arrangers, everybody. And I'm sitting there with Pee-wee recording him on some voiceover on the actual film, right? For Netflix. And I get to go to the Sony lot and I get to go in his little motorhome thing, right? And like go hang out with him and Mark while they talk about stories about Prince and all these crazy things that happened in the 80s. It's fucking crazy shit. 22 Jump Street. Wow, what a fun movie, man. Just so much fun. And just so many other things. Vacation movie, like all this stuff. And this is just like literally not even half of the credits because of the who. Because of the who. Who has my money? Who's got the opportunities? Who's got this stuff? Now, what I realized after working on all these projects, nobody knows who I am. You know, you work on all these big projects. You're like, oh man, I got all these credits. But who the fuck am I? I'm in the credits. I'm on the screen. Nobody's reading that shit, right? Produced by, co-produced. I was always co-produced. Or my favorite is they give you credit as a synthesizer programmer. When you know damn well you arranged the music, you mixed the music, you recorded the music, you engineered it, you produced the track, you did everything, right? You might have even composed the thing, but you get credit as the synth programmer. Nobody knows who I am. Why? Because what was I doing at that time? I was like, yeah, I'm working for this person. I'm working for these people, right? I'm not making content. I'm not getting known, right? I'm just in the background. So if nobody knows you, that's your biggest issue. It's 100% the only issue you have right now. If nobody knows you, if Mark didn't know me, if the person that got me in front of Mark didn't know me, how's he going to hire me? How am I going to get any of that stuff that I got? How are you guys going to get anyone to flow to you? If they don't know you, they can't flow to you. They can't. It's impossible for them to flow to you. You guys are so focused and worried about the how. Still, you're still thinking, how do I do this? I guarantee it. I guarantee in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, but how do I do it? You got to stop with the bullshit and you got to start thinking about the who, and you got to focus on the who and the why and your targets. What? The what, right? What do you really want? Why do you really want it? Who can help you? Who can connect you to those things? And if you don't know who, they don't know you, they can't flow to you, they will not hire you again. They will not, they'll hire who they know, right? They'll hire the friend of the guy, their composer that connects them with another guy, because they don't know you, because you don't post anything online. Nobody talks about you. You don't put out any records. You don't have any content out there. You're not doing anything. You know, how do they know you? You're not adding value to them. You're not adding value to their friend. You're not adding value. You're worried about how you're going to build a studio and make money. You're worried about yourself. You can't worry about yourself. You just got to get known by adding value and connecting with people and paying people. Get to the who. Always pay people before you pay things. You don't buy things in business. You buy people. People are free, you guys. Hiring is free. You will always be a slave to someone else's celebrity. That's the facts right there. I don't care. I don't care who you are. You'll always be a slave to someone else's celebrity if they don't know you. What does that mean? That means you're always going to be the guy working for somebody else and getting the breadcrumbs. That was my biggest worry. I worked for Mark for 5 years. And at the end of that 5 years, my biggest worry and concern was I didn't make shit for content. I didn't get known from any of the shit that I had been doing. And I was just the guy getting a little bit of breadcrumb for doing whatever the fuck I was doing. I didn't get any writing, publishing on the Lego movie. I wrote so much on that movie. I could have made over $100,000 on just the publishing on that, on the writing, like the PRO money on that. I didn't get anything on that. So you'll always be a slave to someone else's celebrity. Think about that. Like really think about that. If you don't get known, if people don't know you for what you do and what you want to do and your targets and you're not really putting yourself out there, you're always going to be someone else's little guy or girl or thing. Sounds kinky. You'll always get paid the lowest fee. You'll always get the lowest fee. Nobody fucking knows you, bro. I don't care. I don't care that you're, Brian Olsen. Oh, Steve Itty. I don't care. Oh, you're Bradley Denniston. Nobody cares. Here's this little bit of money. Do you want it or not? I guess I'll take it. I mean, it's a fee in music, right? Sure, I'll take, free beers for the night on this gig. Nobody knows me. Now, if people know you, you pull in the crowd. You get paid. You bring the audience. You bring the business. You bring everything. People flow to you when you get known, okay? So if nobody knows you, they can't flow to you. You'll not get hired again. They'll hire who they know. You'll always be a slave to someone else's celebrity, and you'll always get paid the lowest fee. You'll always be a bottom feeder. You'll always get undercut. So how do you change this? Because this is how we get into the how now. just a little bit of the how. All right. Promote. Let's talk about the business cycle. The business cycle. This is very, very basic, but it's so important to understand and just ingrain in your thought process. Number one, you got to get the attention, which is promote, right? That's make content. It's free to make content, guys. It's free to post on TikTok. There's no limits to what you can post or how many times you can post. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories. And most of y'all aren't even posting once a day. Marketing and advertising is the first thing you need in your business cycle. Nobody knows you. You got to get known. Now, I'm not saying go spend a bunch of money on marketing. No, I'm saying you need to go make content for free. You need to connect with people and talk about what you know about. And you need to go put that shit everywhere and advertise and market. Okay. Step two, you're going to create a lead and a prospect. People are going to go, hey, I like what that guy does. Chris Dingman, he's dope. He's got some good sounding strings. I like that. That's a great composition. Oh, I love that he's showing that. Oh, that's sick. Sick tip. I'm going to share it and get a prospect. You create a lead. They hit you up, right? Then you go into a sales cycle, which we'll break down a little bit more. Now, really think about this. The business cycle is really like marketing and advertising, a whole world in that, right? A whole thing that goes on for that. Okay, create leads and prospect, whole thing that goes on with that. Sales cycle, whole thing there. Repeat, whole thing there, right? So that's what you're going to do. Market, advertise, promote, create a lead and prospect, sell them through a sales cycle, repeat. And guess what happens? You get momentum, you get a ball rolling, you get a wheel going, you get known, you get people talking about you. How are you guys in this group? How did you guys find me? You think you found me because you just, someone introduced you to me or something? Like maybe some of you guys, but really think about it. You found me through marketing and advertising. I created you as a lead or a prospect. You became somebody that was like, hey, I'm kind of interested in what you got going on. I took you through some sort of sales cycle, right? Came to a landing page. You asked me some questions. I talked to you about what I offer, what I'm doing. It's a business. I got to make money so that I can at least break even to do these calls and take up the time to do these things, right? So the products, the offers, the services, they all are, I'm always trying to offer product services that are way, way, way valuable. And then the price is like here. So it's affordable, right? And then I just repeat. Then I repeat and I repeat. And then we get into the sales cycle, because I want to go a little deeper into this because I think it's really, really important. The sales cycle, prospect. Okay. That's when your prospect comes through. Remember, we got create leads and prospects. Okay. So the sales cycle starts with the prospect. The prospect comes in from the marketing, right? From you putting out the content, from you putting out the word, from you talking about what you know about, from you creating this persona. Be yourself online. People love it. It's 2023, coming to 2023. You got to be yourself. Just become yourself more and more. Get in front of the camera and learn how to be yourself in front of a camera. Then you got an interview, which is really like a greet and qualify. Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing, man? Thanks for sending me a DM. It's great to connect with you. Hey, so what are you looking for? Like, what are you trying to do? Tell me a little bit about what you got going on with your music. You know, you want to qualify these people. You want to greet them. You want to be nice to them. Like, obviously, right? Yeah, Chris says, yeah, man, I'm doing this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I go, great. What are you struggling with? What do you need help with? What do you want more of? Those are really two great questions, right? Chris, what kind of pain are you trying to get out of, bro? Like, what are you trying to get over? What's that hurdle? What's that thing stopping you right now from doing this and this? Oh man, I think it's this, this, and this, right? Go deeper into that question. Or, Chris, sounds like you're doing pretty good. So you want more of that, huh? What do you want more of? Man, I want more gigs in the composing world, man. I want more gigs with bigger opportunities. All right, let's talk about that. Okay. Now, once I figure out what you want, what do you want, Lauren? Like, what do you really want? You know, once I figure that out, Lauren, man, I really want this. I want to be able to share my music with the world, and I want to touch people, connect with people on a deeper level. Okay, why do you want that? What do you got so far? What have you tried? How are you connecting with people right now? How many followers do you have right now? How much of your content is getting engagement? Are people sharing your stuff? Are you putting out the right stuff that's supposed to connect with that goal and that target that you really have? Man, I never thought about that. I'm just putting out stuff I like putting out. Okay, you can't do that. That's bullshit, right? So I interview, I greet, I qualify, I figure out, like, what do you want? Qualify also means, can you afford what I'm going to offer you? Can you afford my services? Can you afford my the things I want to show you, right? And then of course I have products all the way from, like, you know, $29 to, like, you know, $12,000, right? So what can, like, where are you at? What do you need? What's the next step for you? And how do we get you to the next thing, right? That's what I want to do. And then once I figure out where you're at and what you need, then I demonstrate that product or service. Well, listen, Chris, here's what you really need is you need to get into the Radium Roundtables mentoring group, because you need to understand this, this, and this. You need to understand the business. You need to get more opportunities for sync. You need this. So let me demonstrate how that works. And here's how much it costs. At the end of all that, you know, you want to build up the value. You want to talk about it, demonstrate the product, the service. And then you got to validate and propose. Okay. So propose, I'm going to make a proposal. You can go to this landing page here. You're going to find all the pricing. You're going to find everything here. This is the proposal. This is what's included with everything. Okay. Chris is going to go, that's great, man. Then you get in the negotiation phase, right? Where they go, man, I love that. I can't pay $350 for a year up front. Oh, that's fine, Chris. You know, we're doing monthly now for 40 bucks a month, you know, 47 bucks a month, whatever, you know, you very affordable. And then this way you can get a lot of value. You can connect, you can get into the network. You can start pitching for the briefs right away. You can get into these Zoom calls. Everything's recorded. And then you go, great, that sounds good. Actually, I'll do that monthly. That's great. Then I can afford it. And then we can go from there and I can learn some stuff, take some skills and start building. Okay, great. Number 6, close. All right, Chris, you got to go to the site. You got to go pay. That's the hard thing. People always have a hard time with the close. They have a hard time asking for the money. Okay, great. Chris, you want to do an artist development package? We're going to produce a custom song for you. It's $3,000 after I go through the demonstration, the validate, I propose it all. I negotiate with you. I go for the close and I say, how do you want to pay? You want MasterCard, Visa, American Express? You want to put it on a PayPal? Like, what do you want to do? Oh man. Okay. Let me put it on my PayPal. Okay, cool. You want to Venmo me? You got to go for the close. You got to ask for the money. And the only time you'll have a hard time closing anybody on any sort of deal you're trying to make is when you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe that your product or service is that valuable. I promise you 1000%. And price, nobody closes on price. Everybody closes on value. If I told you you could get this car for $80,000, you'd be like, oh my God, I don't have 80 grand for a car. But then I told you, well, it's a Ferrari. It's a classic Ferrari that's worth $5 million. Okay, let me figure out how I can get 500 grand, 80 grand right away. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to my dad, my cousin. I'm taking out of my retirement fund, right? You guys get this? Like, really understand the value once it outweighs the cost or the, oh my God, I'm going to put this on a credit card. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm nervous. Once it outweighs that, who gives a shit about the price? Price is a myth. Nobody cares what it costs. Every price is made up also, you guys. You have to understand that. When you decide you're going to charge someone whatever amount you're going to charge them, you're making that up. You're pulling that out of the air. Everything's made up. Okay. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to follow up. Follow up is like so important. 80% of the deals that you're going to close in your business, for your composing business, your mixing, your live shows, your whatever, your records, something you're giving away for free. 80% of those closes will happen between the 5th and the 12th follow-up. And most of you guys won't even follow up with someone one time. Oh, no, I'll be bothering them. I'm nagging them. No, you just don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in what you're offering. So follow up, follow up, follow up. That's really, really important. And then number 8, referral, right? I closed the person. I followed up with them. I said, hey, how's everything? Do you like it? Are you getting something out of this? Now, hey, listen, could you shoot me a little video, bro? Just a testimonial. Here's another great question. Who do you know that needs this exact same thing? Who do you know that wants to up their game in music? Who do you know that needs to understand the sales cycle in the music business and understand how to close and understand how to get sync licensing deals and wants briefs and wants Zoom calls and wants to talk to me one-on-one? Who do you know? Not, hey, if you know anyone, send them my way. You got to get the referrals. So everyone here should be sending me referrals. You should all, if you're getting value out of this group and anything we're doing, you guys should all be sending referrals my way. Okay, your approach must change to a business model with proven strategies and tactics. Just to stop right there. Read that again. Your approach must change to a business model with proven strategies and tactics. Not what you guys think might work. No, I think this might work, bro. If I try this, man, this might work. I think I got an idea for a new business. No, you need proven strategies and tactics for a business. You don't just make shit up. That's how you waste a lot of money, time, effort, energy, and you look like an idiot. So let's go over this one more time, guys. Define the targets, the what, define your why, who, not how, get your ideal clients to know you. They will then flow to you. How we get known, utilize the business cycle. Within the business cycle or other cycles, like the sales cycle, like we just went over, okay? And then, oops. Sorry, I can't even read the bottom of the screen because it's so small. Change your approach to strategies and tactics that are proven, not what you think might work. And that's it, guys. You guys have any questions? Just unmute and ask away.
Thank you, Bradley.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
Steve, yeah.
This is Steve. I'll even do it on my video.
Yeah, let's see that mug.
Yeah. So I've been playing music all weekend.
Nice.
We just had some major gigs played for December nights in Balboa Park. Thousands of people were there playing our music, and then playing in Little Italy last night.
Sweet. Is that up in the Bay?
Little Italy in San Diego.
Okay, I'm thinking San Francisco for some reason. You said Balboa Park in Little Italy. I was like, okay, I know those places.
Okay. So it's been an interesting journey. I play with a guy, Gary Santopietro, amazing guitar player. So we have 2 acoustic guitars. And then my brother played cajon, and we just played, there's thousands of people there. And we're playing we played Christmas music.
Oh yeah.
All different styles. And then we played and then mixed in original music and then some covers.
Awesome.
Had people dancing and just powerful night. So I'm out playing 3, 4, 5 times a week.
Mhm.
And it's just so much fun to watch people's reactions. So my recording side, I'm recording all the time, but it's just learning new songs and just putting stuff out. But it's not my original stuff, because I have original stuff. I have recorded it in the past, but I wanted to take it up to another level.
Right.
So I'm just telling you, I've been on this journey. I have all this stuff. I'm in my studio right now, my little beat studio. I did have my drum kit set up.
Awesome.
I took it down because now I want to start doing a lot of video
Yeah.
stuff and demo stuff with my guitar player, because we're just called Steve and Gary at this point.
Okay.
And I'm just sharing this with you because I've been on this journey. I've been watching you. I didn't have as much time to do stuff because I was out playing so much, but now I think I'm gonna have a little more time to record. We're gonna do another demo, and I'm just asking your opinion on, just watching your presentation on the whole business thing, because
Mhm.
I am making money and trying to find new ways to put music out, because you can record it, put on DistroKid, you upload your music, and then it doesn't really go anywhere.
Right.
It just seems like video is way stronger than just putting a song out.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so I'm learning that. I've done a lot of videos, like 3 to 5 camera angles, and then I put in Final Cut Pro, and then put it out.
Right.
So I'm just asking your opinion on that process. I'm thinking I need to do the recording, but with a more, from the loop side of it, because I started doing the loop thing, in Logic Pro. I was
Mhm.
always using live drums, live cajon, and I'm seeing just the sound, trying to mesh in the more current sounds,
Yeah.
with the loops and all that. So I know you've done all that stuff, and I hear your music. I love what you're doing with that.
No, thank you.
And my journey has been to just keep stuff encouraging. I'm putting out music that's encouraging,
Love that.
just making people feel good and dance and all that. So
Yeah.
just seeing if you have opinion, direction, of like priorities. Again, I guess I'm just asking, do you go down that video route, just do your, get your one song at a time rather than doing an album? Because I write hundreds of songs.
Yeah.
I have about 15 albums, but it's older recordings.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to just do new stuff. So I'm just kind of getting your perspective, your opinion, if that makes sense. Because I don't know how much you've seen of my stuff posted just when I'm out. I don't know if you see it on Instagram at all, or
Yeah,
um,
I know you did like the YouTube stuff and you had the music videos and stuff up. Um the biggest thing, and I think we talked about this before, is um repurposing what you're doing, right? So
mhm.
like if I were you, like that whole thing you just did in Balboa Park and Little Italy, that would be all filmed and I'd have an editor chopping that up and making content for that. That
Which I do. I filmed it and I had it recorded. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so are you on TikTok?
See, that's one. I started TikTok and I go, man, this thing looks crazy, and then I stopped it. So, but now you're saying
Yeah,
get onto TikTok.
I mean, you should utilize every platform of where your fans or where anyone would listen to music. And TikTok's one
Okay.
of the biggest places. So like this is very like for the content game. If I
Yeah.
did if I just did 2 shows and I'm doing shows like you constantly, I would
Yeah.
be working with an editor, someone that has some creative direction and some more, can do like some visual stuff, etc. You need a better name. You can't be going by Steve and Tom or whatever. Like no one's gonna
Yeah.
remember that
Stephen
shit.
Gary. Yeah. That's what we've
Yeah.
been told. Yeah.
Like, bro, you can't be branding that. Like you gotta come up with something. If you guys are gonna play together a lot, then you can just make a band name, just figure something out. Or just go by
Yeah.
Steve Ante. You know what I mean? Like just figure out something.
Yeah.
And
My one guy, he said, call it Steve Anti Experience. I was like,
yeah, whatever, like whatever works and
yeah.
fits and matches like your vibe. And then like what I would personally do if I were you is I would
Mhm.
literally just have every single live show that I had, I'd format it to, up and down, like, 1080, 1920, TikTok.
Right.
Right. So you want full screen, you want like, the full vibe, right? You want to utilize all the screen.
Not horror. I've been filming everything horizontal. So do a vertical, start doing vertical.
It doesn't matter. A good editor, they just take you in, as long as it's shot in 4K and shit, like you could just zoom in and crop the, but I've
been doing it 1080. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
1080. It's okay.
I mean, 1080 is fine, but you should definitely start shooting in 4K. Why not? Every camera shoots 4K. It's silly not to, right? So, but have like your editor should be able to like, do clips and do like, I would put 20-second clips up, 45-second clips up on TikTok of you playing music. The best parts, cut to the audience, cut to little B-roll stuff, close-ups of the guitar, etc. Have editor just like take all the content and just repurpose it and start posting once a day. And have good stuff to post, and always have a call to action. And when you go play these shows, have other things, have other things that you're offering, whether it's merch or it's, come to my studio, record, I write, I'm a writer, whatever. Like you need to have other products and services. You need to connect with people, right? We call it a value ladder. You can't just say, oh, I'm Steve Ante, here's my music. They're like, oh, but we want more from you. And you're like, that's all I got, bro. Just come to my show. Okay. Gotcha. So how do you take the client on an experience? How do you take them to the next level? Like, what's the next thing that they can do with you? Like, hey, I love what you're doing. Like, what if a lady comes up to you and she's like, hey, I love this. My son has a birthday coming up and I would love to have you like do a video and like a little, concert in the backyard sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to have like these packages and these offers. One thing that most businesses lack is enough offers, enough services and products. A lot of them are just like, I mix and master. It's like, cool, man. I don't need that. And plus then you're now competing with every mix and master. So for me, what I do is I'm like, I mix and master. I can also add a session return where I send you back the Pro Tools or Logic session with all the moves I've made. We can also, for an additional fee, I can record the whole thing and show you exactly what I'm doing and send you back a video that's made directly for your mix and master so you can learn better how to make your music sound better, right? I also offer custom production. I offer artist development packages where I'm going through releasing the song with you, producing it, executive producing it, helping you with songwriting, helping you modernize or get to a new audience, showing you how to brand yourself better, what kind of content to roll out, how to get on Spotify playlists. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure that you're not going somewhere else for something.
Gotcha.
So what are you doing to do that? Like if someone's going to go, I'm going to go to this show, or I'm going to go watch Steve, or I'm going to check out his content. Like, what if they go, oh, I really like this, but I want this now. And you're like, oh, well, that's all I got for you is just a little entertainment, So as far as a business plan goes and a model, you got to be the guy that you say you're a songwriter. You say, I got hundreds of songs. I'm writing songs. You need to start writing songs for people.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
And I have done it. I've been doing that for schools. I have songs that they use it in their schools. They've been singing, and
there you go.
Different people. So anyway, but I just haven't pursued it as strongly. And then the quality of my recording, I've sent some stuff to you. I've taken it to another level with some of the techniques.
Nice.
I just want to keep taking it to a higher level. So I know I should just do a package with you and just do a song. And I think I played Surfing the Jetty with you.
Yeah, and just do a mix with me, and we can like kind of bring everything up, and then at least you got something that you can start to showcase. That's gonna sound a lot more like a record rather than like a demo that you mixed yourself, etc. Because you don't realize like mixing nowadays is so different than mixing in the like even 10 years ago. Like even 5 years ago,
so completely different.
It's so different. We've modernized so many techniques. The software's become much more.
It just froze on me.
Yeah, stuff's just become much more sophisticated, man. You okay? Did I lose you?
I lost you. Now I'm back.
All right,
he's still back. There.
Yeah, you must have hit a dead zone. But yeah,
I know. I'm in my studio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a big thing, Steve, is like go back on this video and watch the first 15 minutes or something. You really
Which
got
I did. I did watch it. Yeah. I was
okay,
watching
cool.
it.
So you need like go through the steps, define your targets. Like to me right
Yeah.
now, it sounds like you don't really have a target in mind. You don't have a goal in mind. You just kind of like, yeah, I write and I make songs. But you have to have a target. You have to have a specific thing in mind. I want to do this and this is my goal.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like once you have that together,
Right.
you can strategize you know, the who and the why and all that stuff. And you can start going down that rabbit hole. But before you have like an actual target, you're just kind of playing music.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
attach that target with some numbers, with some, you know, hey, I want to get to 5,000 followers on TikTok. I want to sell, you know, 3 songwriting sessions every quarter. You know what I mean? Like you
Mm.
gotta have some goals together. You gotta have something so that you can start to plan and strategize that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Well,
my
it's good stuff, man. I'm blown away what
yeah,
you're
man,
doing.
because
You
you
keep
don't
doing
want to
this. I go, man.
yeah, you don't want to just be making content to make content, man. You'll wear yourself out.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, like if you don't have that why and that target and that like what are you trying to do and who are you trying to connect with, like there's no point. Like, oh,
Mhm.
here's my content. Like who gives a shit, right? Like then all of a sudden you're spending all this time on content when you really just want to be writing songs for people. So
Yeah.
the content is the marketing and the business cycle, right? It's like it's the marketing and advertising, and then you get the prospect, right? And the lead. And then you go through the
Mhm.
sales cycle with them, but you can't get to the sales cycle before that. You can't, like, if you don't have the thing in mind, you don't have
Right.
the business, you don't have the idea, you don't have the thing you're selling or what you're trying to do, then why advertise or market it? You don't know what you're advertising or marketing.
Yeah. Well, sounds like I got to get a name change because I was doing it on my own, but I've been playing with Gary for about 28 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I see a lot of doors are opening up for us,
Yeah.
the
Y'all got to get it together,
two
man.
acoustic guys. So it's like, what do we call ourselves? And then Gary's going, they'll call it Steve Annie Experience. And
I
maybe
love
I
it.
should do that because
Yeah.
I
Do it.
had Steve Annie Band and Steve Annie. And it's, I just put my name out there. A lot of people
Oh,
know
okay.
who I am in
So
San
you've
Diego.
already put your name out there. You should keep going off that.
Just keep going with that, huh?
Yeah, because people already know you. You don't want to all of a sudden alienate your past clients, your past fans. Like, oh,
Yeah.
now we got a new band. You got to go figure out who Steve Annie's playing with. Like, no, screw that. You
Yeah.
already built that up, man. So yeah,
Okay.
go Steve Annie experience, whatever you want to call it. Make sure it looks cool. You know what I'm saying? Make a cool type font. It doesn't need to be a logo. People need to cut the shit with I'm going to make a band logo. That's so corny. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, here's my Steve Annie experience. Like, bro, no, just find a cool font to write Steve Annie in, like Steve Annie experience, whatever. And you don't need a logo. You don't need to go on
Yeah.
Fiverr and get a logo done. Like you just need to find a cool font that you think looks good with your name and then get some pictures, photos, I would use photos and stuff from your live shows, man. And start
And
just
just
like,
showing Gary, show the two of us, and even though calling it my
yeah,
name, Steve Annie Experience. Yeah.
always. And then
Okay.
always tag Gary on there and like make sure that, you know, make sure you
Yeah.
tag the venues, tag the people that came along. Like, it's an experience, man. It's a Steve Annie experience. Like making an experience for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then figure out what you want to sell. Like, what are you trying to do, man? Like,
Yeah.
are you trying to like make a merch line? Are you trying to make an experience for people where, you start selling like show packages where you can go do those private shows, events, weddings, whatever. And you guys do covers and you know what I mean? Whatever you want.
Yeah. Because we're playing out in San Diego, we were playing Tommy Bahamas and Little Italy and
Yeah.
and other restaurants, and we want to continue to pursue that, playing out as much as we can,
There you
but
go.
then also getting the music out. So anyway, that's what I'll keep doing.
Yeah. Do it.
I do have a low look. Check this out. This is my studio, Beatsy Upbeat Studio.
There you
Can you
go.
see
That's
that?
kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, that was the design showing me surfing on it. That was just a blanket thing.
Yeah. It's fun.
But then what you use to do video, this is my screen right here. I mean, my background, and here's
Nice.
the, piano, my whole thing. So it's
Sweet.
just showing you. I mean, so I have this place. I'm thankful for that, air conditioning,
Yeah. You got a good space.
you know, So anyway, I just want to really put the time in this year to, really pursue it at this stage in life,
Yeah, man, get
and,
to work. You know what to do.
okay. Thank you, brother.
All right, Steve. Thanks for the question, man.
Okay, man. All right.
All right. Anyone else got any questions at all?
That was a lot of really good.
I can't hear you for some reason, Chris. I think maybe the microphone changed or something. It was coming through for a second, but I think it switched over.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's just there's just a lot of really good stuff for me to be basically honing into some specific targets to work on, because I think that, like you said, that's really going to help figure out what exactly the work needs to be moving towards. What are the specific, really specific, unrealistic goals that I want to be shooting for, so I know exactly why I'm doing those things and what specific kinds of content and other kinds of effort I need to be making to actually try to get those things to happen. So
super important. That'll connect you to the who as well, right? Because if you don't know like what your targets are, you won't know who can help you get to them, and you won't even know who to talk to, or who you should be appealing to or bringing into your circle, etc. Or who you should be paying, who you should be working with, etc. So it is very, very important. That's kind of the why and the what are really the very first starting point. Once you really get solidified on that, what it is that you really want and why you really want it, then it's so easy to do the how and to do the who and all that, because it just reveals itself.
Yeah,
it just reveals
it's the natural extension of the details. You're like, oh, well, this is the thing that I want to do. So obviously these are the people, these are the things that need to happen in order to get to that point.
Yeah. But yeah, that's when you'll really start making the content, I think, that makes sense for you and your business. I didn't start making the content that really made sense to my business until I understood really what it is that I'm looking for and the targets I'm looking for, and the who, who do I need to be talking to, or, because once I started that, I started connecting with, the plugin vendors and the people that can really spread my message. Something for everyone on this call and for anyone watching the replay of this. Waves hit me up just 3 days ago. And, I'm an affiliate with them, sort of, right? So they give me all their plugins for free, but it doesn't mean I have to like their shit or anything or talk about their stuff. But I put out a piece of content on their BB Tubes plugin because I thought it was really good, and they sent it to me before it released. And so I dropped content on the day of release and sent them the video and everything. And the guy that kind of heads that hit me back and was like, yo, we really like this. We like your content you made on YouTube. We'd love to share it with our mailing list, and we want to put it out in our weekly newsletter. And I was like, I'm looking at my goals and I'm going, yeah, I want to reach 10 million people, to get to know me. And
that's part of that.
And it's just funny because I have that on my goal list, but I'm not sitting here going man, how do I do that? Right. So that stuff reveals itself. And then they hit me back and they're like, yeah, give us the thumbnail. We're going to send it out. It's going to go to 2 million people plus on our mailing list. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And they're going to drive it to my YouTube channel. Right.
Yeah.
So that's just a testament of how this stuff works. It's not me sitting here going, how do I reach 10 million people? I got to run Facebook ads. What do I got to do? What do I got to do? How do I do it? It's always going to be, what are the targets? Yeah. Write that shit down every day. Really get obsessed with it and get obsessed with the why. Why I want to hit those targets. And once you really start doing that, all of a sudden you start making the content that appeals to those people. You start attracting the right people. They start liking your content, wanting to share it with their 2 million newsletter. That blew me away,
That's
But
awesome.
if I sat here and focused on that, it may have never happened.
Right. Because you'd be just like overthinking it and like stuck in your head.
Overthinking, getting all anxious about it. Like, how am I going to do this? You know, there's Googling and YouTubing and watching a bunch of bullshit from people that have never done it before. Like, it's crazy, man. So I try really hard to just like focus on those targets, and that's it. Like, I just really hone in on the targets. Like, I don't try and like figure out how I'm going to do it. I just think about the actions and the critical tasks. Like, I'm like, oh, so I need to make posts every day on all my platforms. I need to send out mailers every day. I don't care if it bugs people. I want to get rid of the people that it bugs. I want to go deeper with people that care, and I want those people to share it, you know? So how do I keep adding? Like, if I think about how, I always think, how do I keep adding the value to those people that are sharing my stuff? Like, if Wave says, man, we love this, we're going to share it with our newsletter. How do I do that more?
Yeah.
Saying?
Like, how do you focus on
focus on the how with.
Yeah, on like what other people need from you, as opposed to how do I get what I need? It's like, how can I offer more?
How do I help them more?
Yeah.
How do I help Chris get what he wants? You know what I'm saying? How do I help Steve get more of what he wants? Because you guys aren't going to like, oh man, Brad really helped me like make $1 million with music. Like, you're not going to just be like, oh, I did that all on my own. You're going to be like, fuck yeah, dude, Brad, Radium Records, like they did it, you know? So that's the key, man. It really is. And people are going to want to share that. They're going to want to share that experience. And, you know, it's just like basic. It's really basic. I just write it down every day, man. Like, just get it in your subconscious.
Do you feel like you remember the point where, like you said, you felt like you had really honed in like on making the content that you wanted, like really creating the stuff that was attracting the things that would be oriented towards those targets that you have?
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, marketing and advertising and promoting and making content is a test and experiment. And it changes and shifts, and what people like and what they don't like, and the platforms and what that likes and doesn't like, and the algorithms and all that stuff, it constantly changes. So what you have to constantly do is just be yourself as much as possible. So what do you really know? What do you really love talking about? What would you bore the shit out of your girlfriend about? You know what I mean? Like, talking about. What would you like get around the people that you really love talking to about stuff? Like, what would you guys like geek out about and talk about for 4 hours over beers and be like, oh, I totally forgot about time, right?
The stuff that you would just naturally do, like even if nobody was paying attention.
Facts. And then you gotta like, here's the big thing, right? The biggest thing about content is you cannot just talk about what you like. You cannot do that. You will never go anywhere with that. What you have to do is you have to be yourself, and you have to put your opinions into the things that you are going to be talking about, but you have to have the market research for what people are looking for and what they want to learn about and how you can help those people. So what I say is get in bed with your client, get in bed with your ideal prospect, with that person that you want to help. And like, you know, just be there when they're going to bed at night, and what are they thinking about? What are they trying to solve? What problems, what issues, what's on their mind? Like, what are they trying to like figure out? And then how can you be that beacon that like this piece of content just shows up that's what they were thinking about? And I write that shit down, bro. Like, I have those like notes in my phone. Like, what's Chris worried about right now? Man, I'm worried about getting my next gig for, you know, composing, or my next book, or how am I going to scale this thing, or how am I going to do this, or who do I need to talk, right? Like, those are the questions I ask, and I try to answer in my content. And you'll find that's why I kept up with the plugin of the week, is because there's always new plugins. Right. And people are always searching new plugins. So it's going to be like, oh, there's this new plugin out. Okay, how do I get ahead of that?
Yeah.
And how do I check it out and get it before anyone else? Oh, well, I got to become affiliated with Waves, so they give me the stuff before, or Slate Digital, so they give me their stuff before, you know, like they sent me their headphones, you know what I mean? Like, I got to know about this stuff ahead of time so I can like check it out and see what I think about it, and make that piece of content about what I truly think about it, and then drop it while everyone's searching for that term.
At the right time. Yeah.
Bro, the internet is SEO now. That's all it is. It is not hashtags. It's not anything else. It's SEO. It is phrases and questions that people are asking all over the internet.
Mm.
So really think about the questions that your people are asking.
And how do you answer those?
How do we save money on the music for our project? How do we get a composer on a budget? How do we do this? How do we do that? Right? That's what they're searching. So you make content around that. And you show that you're the expert in that, and that you're the guy that could save them the money. You're the guy that can do this project under budget, on time, deliver, etc. And then you show that stuff. Now here, check this out. Watch me work on this thing.
Yeah.
This is how I do it. 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 Right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna, oh man, this guy's dope. Okay, wow, he really knows his shit. I mean, why do I release records? It's not for me. Okay.
Right.
Like people like, oh man, you know, on TikTok, my favorite piece of advice, like, oh man, you should just do it for you, make content for you, and it'll be fine. Like, no, why the fuck would I make content for me? That's so boring. I would rather kill myself than make content for me. Like, oh, I just love making me content. Like, no, I make content because I have to, because that's what business is. And I make content to connect. You know, I make content to reach out and to talk to people and to connect and communicate with people and to reach people and help people, not to help me, right? Why am I making content for me? No, that doesn't make any sense. So, you know, all that bullshit aside, like, I'll make songs for you, and if people like them, that sounds really great, but like, try to build a business doing that. Like, I'm just
practice. Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. So you have to really, truly think about, if you're trying to build a business, you have to think about other people. You have to think about your customer. You have to think about your ideal customer too. You don't want a room full of people you just hate serving. Like, God, these guys are jackasses. Like, you have to get in the room with the people that you want to talk to for free. You want to help for free. And that really like it, you know, like they connect with you, and, you know, it makes sense. It's a relationship. And you constantly have to think about that. Like, how would you want to be talked to, right? Do you want to be hard sold? Do you want to be soft sold? Do you want to be just like communicated with? Do you want a lot of value? Do you want to watch a video and get right to the point, right? Or do you want like a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of fun? Like, then you make that. You make what you would think that you would want, right?
Right.
That's what I do.
Yeah. The kind of thing that someone that you would want to hang out with is going to be into, basically.
Facts. Just remember this. This is a really, really important point. It will take just as much energy, time, money to promote something you're giving away for free as much as it would if you were selling it for any price. So people do not get that part. And you want proof of that? Release a song. It's free. It's free. You can stream it on YouTube for free. You can stream it anywhere. Like, you could get Spotify free and go listen to it, right? Apple Music, you could go play it anywhere. It's all over online, right? Like, you distribute it massively. And then people are like, man, nobody's listening to my music. It's free too. Like, why won't they listen to it? Because it takes just as much marketing and promo effort to get someone to get something for free from you than it does to sell something to someone.
That's a crazy thing to think about.
Really think about that. Like, and truly, every time you go to promote, you make a piece of content, etc., just realize you're throwing a little bit of speck of sand into the ocean.
That's why those targets are so important, right?
Facts.
You got to know what it is that you're actually doing it for.
The targets are everything. The why and the targets are everything. And just never lower the targets. That's really important as well. Like, a lot of people that get like, oh, this isn't working, I don't think I can do that, right? It's like, no, you have to get the data, right? So if I decide I'm going to release records and I go, oh, this isn't working because I released one record or 3 records or 5 records, I need a data collection pool. I need to go, okay, I'll decide to check out the data and see who's listening and figure out that data once I've dropped a pool sample of 50 records. You have to have the sample size big enough. So how do you get to that? Like, if my target was that, like, I want to become an artist and I want to release records and I want to sell 1 million copies, whatever, right? I would not track how many sales I'm making of each record. I would track a certain point, a certain data collection point. Like, I need to get to 50 records as fast as possible. Okay. And then that's a great example of, like, that's your target. I need 50 records out in a year. Okay. How many is that per month? How many of that is per week? Okay, I need to drop a song a week. Say that's the thing. It's really, that'd be like 52, right? But you go, a song a week is going to get me to 50 records in a year. Okay, great. So who do you need to get to the 50? Right? Well, shit, I can't just sit here and produce all this on my own. So I'm going to need producers. Maybe I can buy some beat leases or instrumentals that are already done. I might need some songwriters. I might need to bring on some songwriters. So I need to pay some songwriters. I'll find the songwriters that have written the songs that I really like, etc. Ask them how much they are, right? I might need a mixing engineer because there's no way I'm going to be mixing these myself, right? So every time I finish the song, I shoot it over to the mix engineer, right? Bam, bam, bam. Now I'm also going to need about 6 months to make all 50 songs and finish them. And then once that 6 months is done and I have collected at least half of those, maybe 25, then I'll start my release process. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you have to think, because then you get to the 50 and you go, wow, that's a year. That's a year of a song a week. Holy shit. And then you go, what's my data looking like? DistroKid, what is my income coming in? What's the publishing coming in? How many records am I selling? Which records are doing the best? Which genres, which styles, which subjects, which melodies? Now I have a data collection. Like I can go 50 songs. Most people will never get to that point. And they're going to go, I want to be getting a Grammy. You're like, how many songs have you released? They're like 3. You're not going to get to a Grammy, bro. That's not the right mentality, right? So you want to make $1 million in your business? How fast?
Yeah.
Do you want it to take 5 years to make $1 million in your business? Do you want it to take 4 years, 3 years, 2 years? Do you want to make $1 million in a year of your music business? Okay, so now you got to get the data collected, yeah? So that's all I would do. I would just focus on that stuff. Like, okay, the targets, then who do I need? Right? So it's kind of like the what and then the who. And then I just go from there, because all the how just reveals itself.
Yeah.
Like I just showed you in that example. It's like, how do I do it? Then you start going, okay, well, I need 6 months. I need to collect at least the first half. And then I start releasing one a week, etc. All that, like, how just comes into
the
play.
details. Yeah.
And you're not going to know anyway until you have data collected on, like, if I want to sell 1 million records and I've only dropped 7 songs and the biggest song I have is at 150,000 streams or something, then I don't have enough data collected. It doesn't mean that I'm not marketing hard enough. Right? It doesn't mean I need to go put a bunch of money into that song because it is a hit. It could be a hit. No, you need to figure out which one takes off the fastest, easiest, organically. Like which one can get to 1 million streams just by Spotify and fans liking the song. Right?
That's your
with the promo you're currently doing. Which one's doing the best? Now you got like, oh, dude, this song is killing it out of the 50. This one's done 1 million streams by the same exact marketing tactics. Now I'm going to make more of this style of song. Or maybe I'll pour more marketing dollars into that song.
Can't do it without the data.
Facts. So that's really like, that's the key to everything, man. Like, but yeah, hit those like really set targets that are just crazy, man. Like stuff that you get like a little excited about and you're like, oh, like for me, it's like, yeah, like what do I really want, man? Like you really got to like dream quite a bit. And you know, to be in music, you got to be a dreamer. You got to be like, oh shit, it'd be so sick to be like in front of a 90-piece orchestra on stage in a Coliseum with 35,000 people screaming these lyrics to this song that I wrote and just connecting with all those people, man. And then you just like have to spend time visualizing and like making that happen. And that's really where it all starts, bro. Like a song, where does a song come from? Right? It just comes out of nowhere. Where does like the first chord come from? It's like you just have like an idea, a hum, a melody or whatever. It's all just from the ether. It's all from you setting a target, you setting this like intention, you know?
Just kind of magically appears.
Bro, it's magic. It is magic. And, you know, as much as people like to downgrade it nowadays, like, oh, I could do that. I just put on the loop and blah. It's still magic, bro. Because like making a record and putting something out and people not like commenting on the mix and the blah, 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 and just saying, dude, I love this song, you know, or this makes me feel a certain way. That's magic.
Yeah.
Suspension of disbelief, right?
Yeah.
watch a movie and you go, that movie was so good. I cried, I laughed, like it's yeah, it's not. And then people are like, well, it's the story. No,
Right.
it's
Right.
everything, man.
It's moving people with the art, whatever the details were. It's not important because
Facts.
they were impacted by what you created. Whatever
That's
it
what
was.
you
that
want
spoke to
right
them,
there, bro. That's what you want for your business too, man.
Yeah.
Like you don't want people to come through this and be like, yeah, well, the round table's pretty cool, but it's like, is it valuable? I don't know. Like you want them to just go, holy shit, that was awesome. That was great. I didn't even think about that. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like you don't want people thinking like about your song or your movie, like the lighting was weird in the scene, so it's just that suspension of disbelief. It's constantly just getting the thing across and the emotion across without people picking it apart. But anyway, that's a lot, I know, and I'm just like blabbering, but
I love it.
yeah, hopefully this was really useful and you guys can like really put this into practice.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Of course. Hey, you guys have a great night and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And I'll see you guys. I'll try and I don't know if I'm going to do it during the weekends because it seems like everybody's like, yeah, it's Sunday. I'm going to chill. I tried to do this for like the people that are overseas and stuff, but
yeah,
obviously they're not showing up. So screw them. I'll probably go back to Wednesdays.
Constant figuring out, right. What works, I guess.
That's why you don't ask people what they want. You just do it,
Thanks, Bradley.
All right, you guys. Thanks, Brian.